Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. We'll chant Om once together. Synchronize the chanting of Om with your exhalation. Breathe in. Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Gently open your eyes. We'll chant from verses 6 to 10 of chapter 3. Karmendriyani sanyamya,
Karmendriyani sanyamya,
ya aste manasa smaran,
ya aste manasa smaran,
indriyartan vimudhatma,
indriyartan vimudhatma,
mithyachara sa uchyate,
mithyachara sa uchyate,
yastvindriyani manasa,
yastvindriyani manasa,
niyamyarabhaterjuna,
niyamyarabhaterjuna,
karmendriyai karmayogam,
Karmendriyai karmayogam,
asakta savishishyate,
asakta savishishyate,
niyatam kuru karmatvam,
niyatam kuru karmatvam,
karmajyayo hyakarmanaha,
karmajayo hyakarmanaha,
sharirayatra pichate,
sharirayatra pichate,
na prasidhyeda karmanaha,
na prasidhyeda karmanaha,
yajñarthat karmanonyatra,
यज्ञार्थात् कर्मणोऽन्यत्र
लोकोऽयं कर्मबन्धनः,
लोकोऽयं कर्मबन्धनः,
तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय,
तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय,
मुक्तसङ्गः समाचर,
मुक्तसङ्गः समाचर,
सह यज्ञाः प्रजा सृष्ट्वा,
सह यज्ञा प्रजा सृष्ट्वा
पुरोवाच प्रजापतिः
पुरोवाच प्रजापतिः
अनेन प्रसविष्यद्वम्
अनेन प्रसविष्यद्वम्
येषवोऽस्त्विष्टकामधुक्
येषवोऽस्त्विष्टकामधुक्
Hari Om, and a very good day to all of you. So last week we were seeing the importance of asaktaha, detachment. Now whether you are pursuing something in the world or whether you are pursuing that which is beyond the world, which is God, that supreme power, this quality of detachment is very much necessary. As the great saint Ramatirtha, he said, attach you lose, detach you gain. That is so true. That's why he says, if you practice this, all this which has been given with detachment, such a person will excel, vishishyate, excel in performance and also get whatever that person requires, whatever he or she wants. All that will be attracted towards that person. So whenever you are attached, there is a negative energy which you create, a negative energy pattern. Let us say you're too attached to wealth. Then you will find that you will not be able to attract wealth so easily. People who are wealthy, they are relatively unattached with respect to wealth. If you go and ask any achiever, that person will say, there was a time where I was extremely attached. I wanted this so badly. At that time, it didn't come, but I kept on putting my effort. And the day my focus shifted from the fruit to my efforts, and I started enjoying the process, whatever I was seeking earlier automatically came to me. Many achievers have told the same thing in different ways. See, they are indicating about the same principle of asaktaha. Unconsciously they practice that. Here as a sadhak, you are receiving this higher knowledge, you are learning the actual principle in its entirety. So when you consciously apply this in your life, you can achieve anything which you want. When you are too attached to someone, then you will drive away that person, because that person will not feel comfortable. Attachment should not be confused with love. When you truly love a person, that will make the other person very strong. When you are attached to another person, you will also be weak and you will make the other person also weak and dependent on you. What a master gives his students is pure, unconditional love. That energy of love makes the student so strong. So even when it comes towards reciprocating to your master, it should be one of love, affection and devotion. Devotion and love are one and the same. When it is directed towards something higher like the Guru or God, we call it devotion. When the emotion is directed towards someone in the world, we call it love. So when you reciprocate, it should be one of affection and devotion, not attachment. If you get attached to a master, again you will suffer. See, it is not that the other person will cause the suffering in you. The very quality of attachment makes the mind suffer. That is what I want you to understand. If you are attached to your child, the very quality of that attachment, that is how it is been made, that is the stuff which with it is made, that creates a sense of insecurity and agitations within you. If you are attached to wealth, it is not that the wealth causes suffering. Wealth neither gives suffering nor happiness. It all depends on how you relate to wealth. If you get attached to wealth, you will suffer. Any amount of wealth you have, you will still have that insecurity. You will have that fear of losing it. Whereas if you are unattached to wealth, you may lead a royal life and yet you will genuinely enjoy. You will not suffer mentally. So remember, it is not the world that agitates you, but it is how you contact the world. Many people have this wrong concept that wealth is non-spiritual. Nowhere in the scriptures have they said that. Actually, they worship wealth as goddess Lakshmi. What is wrong with wealth? Nothing. That has a place in your life as long as you understand what is the place of wealth in your life, and if you use it properly without becoming a slave to it, then that is asaktaha. You can be very, very rich, wealthy, and still be detached. The opposite is also true. You may not have so much of wealth, you may have just a few possessions, and you may get completely attached to those possessions. So we are talking of the mental quality, not the physical possession or non-possession. Again, when we say don't get attached to someone, how the mind will interpret it as don't relate with people, don't show love. No. Actually, love is the opposite of attachment. I want you to think about this, because whatever is attachment is what you think or you misunderstand, I would say, as love. When you show affection to someone because it gives you happiness, then that becomes attachment. When you are already happy and you show affection to someone, that becomes love. Whenever your happiness is dependent on some object or some person, then their attachment will arise. So you need to do your sadhana on a daily basis. As you do your sadhana, slowly, your mind will get freed from this disease of attachment. You will become very successful in life. We are going to see that today. I'll explain that a little more. Vishishyate. What does he mean by Vishishya? Beautiful word. So you will become very successful in the world. You will acquire a lot of wealth. You will relate to people in a wonderful way. People will all the people around you will love you, will love your company. All that is there. But you know that your happiness should be linked to that infinite source. So you will always link yourself to the infinite and contact the world fully. You know, this 22-day program which we are going to have, Finding Rhythm in Life, is about this only. How do you lead 100% worldly life and at the same time 100% spiritual life? That is the life of a yogi. So the same rule is applicable in the spiritual path also. If you're too attached to the goal, then that will start disturbing you. You will not be able to act in the present moment. When we do the empowerment program, Finding a Rhythm in Life, right from day one, I'll be asking you to fix your goals and refine them. But remember, fixing a goal, working for a goal is one thing, but getting mentally attached to the goal is another thing. If the moment you get mentally attached to the goal, then instead of putting effort in the present, you will start craving for it. You will become a craver. And whatever you crave for will keep running away from you. Why isn't that people who have so much in life, they are not happy? Because they are always craving for something which they don't have. And if they are craving so much, why aren't they having that? It is because of their very craving only. It is very interesting. The more you absorb this principle, the more spiritual you will become. So spirituality is not measured by external dresses, that is what dress a person is wearing, or by external possessions, that is a quantity of possessions. How much is a person possessing? If he has less, he is more spiritual. If he has more, he is less spiritual. These are all wrong concepts. Spirituality is not measured by whether you are going to a place of worship, whether you're doing some ritual. Spirituality is not measured by how many scriptures you have studied, whether you're able to tell the Bhagavad Gita by heart, from memory. These things are not the yardsticks of spiritual development. See, all these things may be useful if you use them properly in the spiritual path, but per se they are not yardsticks. Then what is a yardstick? asakta. Is your mind attached or detached? To the extent your mind is attached, to that extent you are not spiritual. To the extent you are detached, to that extent you are spiritual. If you go and sit on a parapet wall, let us say on the 10th floor of a building, you will be very afraid. Why? Because there is always a danger of falling. You will never do that. But if a bird is sitting next to you on the same parapet wall, the bird has no insecurity, no fear, because the bird knows that it will never fall. Supposing you lose your balance, you will fall down. Whereas if, let's for argument's sake say, you push the bird and it loses its balance, it will not be afraid because it has got two wings, it can just fly off. That is how a yogi is. When you're contacting the world, sitting on the parapet wall in this example means you're contacting the world. You're completely dependent on the world for your security, for your happiness. So you will be very, very insecure, stressed. Whereas a yogi is like the bird. He also contacts the world, but he's got not two wings, he's got infinite wings with which he can soar high to the infinite. He is completely attuned to that infinite. That is why when we started this organization, when they asked me what name shall we keep, I said Infinite Wings. It came in the meditation. As you know, I never plan anything. Whatever comes in the meditation, I just simply execute. That's all. So they asked me, what do we mean by infinite wings? I said a bird has just two wings and how much of freedom it has. But what you need to realize is, as a human being, you have infinite wings, infinite powers. And when you tap all that, you will become, we can't even say as free as a bird, infinite times more free than the bird. You will experience everything in life, you will enjoy everything in life. Just like the bird sitting on the parapet wall is so happy. But if the parapet wall collapses, the bird will not collapse. If you are sitting on it, you will collapse. Because you're completely dependent on it. Whatever, all your possessions, everything you're enjoying, now if that collapses, you will still be extremely free and insecure because you are connected to the infinite. That is the glorious life of a yogi. And karma yoga helps you in that. Here we are dealing with karma yoga in this chapter. That is why I'm saying karma yoga. But when we come to bhakti yoga will help you in that. Jnana yoga will help you in that. Meditation will help you in that. So when we talk of karma yoga, you should understand it as sadhana. Any kind of sadhana which you do will help you to grow your infinite wings. So I want you to absorb this principle and start appreciating this higher living in a spirit of non-attachment. Experiencing everything intensely, physically, emotionally, and intellectually, but at the same time being unattached, not being dependent on anything for your happiness. That is called asaktaha. What a beautiful principle this is. So the weakness of the mind is to get attached. As I told you, asaktaha, non-attachment, actually does not mean free of attachment. It only means you are attached to the higher. Here, not only here, anywhere, when these masters are talking of non-attachment, what they mean is not being attached to temporary factors, not being dependent on temporary factors for your happiness. Instead, be attached to the higher. So that gradation is there. Most temporary, relatively less temporary, relatively very less temporary. Like this, finally, the permanent factor is that infinite supreme reality. So, as you evolve spiritually, you will find that your happiness will start shifting. That is the source of your happiness, from temporary factors to more and more permanent factors. And finally, the happiness will be completely dependent on the most permanent factor, which is God or the infinite. You may ask me, sir, isn't that also dependence? Yes, but that will never give you that insecurity, because the infinite is permanent. That is a permanent factor. So when you get attached to the permanent factor, you also become secure. It will never collapse. So one who restrains the senses with the mind, O Arjuna, and undertakes the yoga of action, karma yoga, with the organs of action unattached, asaktaha, saha vishishyate, that person excels. So last week we started seeing that vishishya means excellence. So I gave you a principle to be practiced. Bring in excellence in everything which you do. Strive for excellence. It is such a wonderful sadhana. Why is it that you should strive for excellence? I am talking of from the spiritual point of view. If you go to a management seminar, in its in a very in a relative that is a seminar which has a relative goal of mere worldly success, they will also say strive for excellence. Why? In order to become successful in the world. But when it comes to the spiritual sadhana, these masters are also saying strive for excellence. Not with the main goal of becoming successful in the world. That is incidental for a yogi. But what is the main goal here? It is to become one with God. It is to become one with the infinite. It is to reach that state of perfection. So when you strive for excellence in anything, what are you doing? You are trying to become more perfect in that. You are moving towards perfection. You are unconsciously seeking the infinite. That is what they are asking you to practice. So infinite is a state of perfection. Finite is a state of imperfection. The more imperfect you are, the more you are attached to the finite. The more perfect you try to be, the more you are aspiring for the infinite. So what these great masters are saying is, there is nothing in the world which is inferior or superior. No work is inferior or superior. You may all be thinking that just because Yogishri is now conducting these sessions, he is doing superior work. No. Here is this person talking, and here you are in front listening. Is talking superior, talking about the Bhagavad Gita, or listening about that is superior? If there is nobody to listen, what is the use of talking? It is nothing is superior or inferior. So when this person is talking, he should try to, he should strive for excellence in this. And when you are listening, you should strive for excellence in listening, being a perfect student. If you adopt this approach, Vishishya, in your life, then every activity becomes spiritual. Every activity becomes divine. Because through your actions, you are actually worshipping the infinite. The more perfect you try to make your action, you are actually worshipping the infinite. What an amazing sadhana principle has been given by these great masters. Act you must, we are going to see in the coming verses, wherein Krishna will be saying, you cannot escape activity. Something or other you will be doing. If nothing else, you will be breathing. If you say, no, I don't even want to breathe, I'm going to stop my breath, then there is no life thereafter. So as long as you are living, you will be engaged in some action. We are including even breathing there. And since you are anyway going to be in activity, Krishna says, why don't you act as perfectly as possible? Why I am saying as perfectly as possible is because the moment we talk of excellence or perfection, there is nothing like 100%. See, infinite is endless. The more you do something in the best possible way, the more is the scope for improvement. A yogi never gets satiated with excellence. He constantly keeps improving. That is the meaning of the statement by Bhagavan Dattatreya when he said, be a Nitya Shishya, an eternal student. Keep on learning and keep on progressing. So whatever it is that you're doing today, your normal day-to-day activities, we will be seeing that in the next verse. He uses the word niyatam karma, means your daily routine activities. Whatever it is that you're doing, here he says, do it in the spirit of Vishishya. Make it as wonderful as possible. Not to impress anyone else. Not making a show of your activities. That is not your goal. But do it in order to unite with the infinite. That is the highest karma yoga. Work is worship. If you are listening right now, that is also an activity. Listen intensely. Absorb everything which is being given to you. Then you are worshipping the infinite. After this, supposing you're going to eat something. Now eat properly. Chew your food fully. Eat to your capacity. Eat beautifully in an excellent way. You may wonder, sir, what is there in eating? Yes, in every activity you can practice this. Then you're interacting with your family members. Interact in the best possible way. Be kind, be loving, be affectionate. Do your duties. So, if you take this simple principle of Vishishya, it looks simple, but it can transform your life at the micro level. It all depends upon your practice only. And one who starts doing every little thing in a proper way has to meet with success. The problem today is that everybody wants success, but they are not doing the right things. So, Vishishya means excelling. So absorb that principle. Strive for excellence in your life. Striving for excellence doesn't mean going and doing some extraordinary activity. No. Whatever activity which you're doing, make it extraordinary. Whether you're cooking, whether you are reading a book, whether you are listening, whether you're talking, whatever it is. You know, it's very interesting when we were doing the Yoga Sankirtan, first Yoga Sankirtan material when it was created, the Nirvana Shatkam. The sound engineer, she was doing the editing and mixing, and she used to send the files. I mean, that time she used to make a CD of it and send it. It was in the CD format, no? That was more prevalent that time. Nowadays, it's more easy digital formats have come. So I used to listen to that, meditate with that, and then note whatever time, even if there is a quarter beat which has slipped, some instrument has slipped, or the volume levels, I wanted 0.5 dB high at this place for this instrument. I wanted little less. So like this, So first when she gave it, I asked her, so how do you think it has come out? And she said, it's amazing. The moment you listen to this, sir, I think we are ready for the release. We'll go to the next step. But when I heard that, I sent her a long mail about 60 points where all we can do some fine tuning. And she was amazed by that. She was an excellent sound engineer actually. And then she did that and she sent. Then 50 points became 25, 25 became 10, 10 became 5, 5 became... Finally, there was only 1 point which was left. And that was a little difficult portion. So I had to go there and guide her and give her some guidance, what exactly I was wanting. And after that was over, I said, now it is ready for the next stage. So she was so happy. She smiled and she told me, so, in so many years of my study of sound engineering as a subject, and then doing the mixing, all this in so many projects, this is the first time, she said, I really admire your approach, because that striving for perfection. She didn't use the word striving, she said trying to make it as perfect as possible. That is amazing. She said, I'm going to implement it in all my other projects also. One thing I just wonder, I gave her an advice of caution. I said, when you do this, don't expect your own clients to appreciate this, because they will not even understand this. She said, yes, I agree. Because for them, just something you do and give, they say, oh, it's great, and they go away. They don't go into the specifics. Anybody who learns to go to the specifics, that person is doing that work as a sadhana. If you are doing things in a generalized way, then you are not a sadhak. The essential quality of a sadhak is to go into the specifics and apply this principle of Vishishya. So it is not how many years you have moved with the master, how close you are with the master in terms of the physical proximity and all that. All these things do not matter. What are you learning from the master? That is the question. Are you learning, and are you implementing it in your life? So Vishishya means excelling, number one. Number two, another dimension of Vishishya. Vishishya means distinguished. Distinguished means being unique. Whatever it is that you're doing, there should be a sense of uniqueness in that. You should not mechanically copy what others are doing. Many people just compare themselves with others. See, being unique means not comparing yourself with others. You can learn from others, but you should bring in your originality in your work. That is very important. Either people don't learn from others at all. In the name of originality, they just do something without really learning the art or the skill. Or people just mechanically copy others. That is because of a low self-esteem, because of an inferiority complex. Being distinguished, being unique, means giving your unique flavor into whatever it is that you're doing. When it comes to human beings, you cannot standardize the work. Certain things you can standardize, but within those rules, everyone will bring his or her uniqueness. A tune can be set for a song, but every singer will bring his or her uniqueness when he or she sings that. Isn't that so true? the tune being the same, 10 singers are singing the same song. When you hear those 10 singers, it will have different flavors. Similarly, there are many things which are standardized in the world. Like, generally speaking, if you take cooking, for example, this dish means it has to be done this way, this way. Those are the basic rules. That is what you can learn from others. But you can never learn from anyone else as to how you can bring your uniqueness. That comes from within. A master helps you in bringing out your uniqueness in your life. See, what has happened even in spirituality is that all the students start copying whatever the master does. Whatever dress the master wears, they also start wearing. Whatever, if he sits like this with eyes closed, they will also sit like. See, it's they just become copycats. What is the beauty of a rose? One is the external beauty, the other is a fragrance. When you copy a master, you may look like a rose, but you are like a plastic rose. There will be no fragrance. It is Vishishya which brings that fragrance. You see, all the great masters, the great siddhas, yogis, they never copied each other. I mean, that statement itself is absurd when we talk of the, this way there is copying and all that with respect to a yogi. But just for explanation, I am saying that all of them were united with the infinite, but their expressions were so unique. The flavor was so unique. Whether it was Krishna, or whether it was Buddha, or whether it was Christ, whether it was Adi Shankaracharya, whether it was Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, you take all the great masters. Of course, when we talk of Krishna, Buddha, they were all avatars. Even among the avatars, you take the 24 avatars of Lord Vishnu. Now, Lord Vishnu was supposed to have taken 24 avatars, out of which 10 became famous. See, there's a wrong concept. People think, how many avatars are there for Vishnu? 10 avatars. Actually, 24. But if you ask a yogi, how many avatars are there for God, he will say infinite. Because every expression is an avatar only for a yogi. That is a yogic vision. But if you go to the Bhagavatam, 24 avatars of Lord Vishnu, and all the avatars were unique. You take Lord Rama, you take Lord Krishna. Their personalities were unique. The way Lord Rama approached a situation was different. The way Lord Krishna approached a situation was different. Similarly, you take all the other avatars also. Yet, all of them were avatars, manifestations, direct manifestations of the infinite. So it is not about what you do. It is not about the methodology. It is about how you are doing it. The uniqueness. You are a divine spark. You are a spark of that infinite divine flame. So when you approach your work with utmost dedication, if you're completely devoted to whatever you're doing, you will shine in your way through that work. That is what is the meaning of Vishishyate. He excels, he says, unique. Uniqueness is expressed. So there is a grace about a yogi. Whatever a yogi does is very graceful, is very refined. There is a story that after the Mahabharata war, there was a big party which was thrown, celebration, and each one was given one work. Yudhishthira gave Arjuna something. He said, you go and welcome the guests, like the different thing. But when it came to Krishna, he didn't give Krishna anything because he felt, how can I go to Krishna and ask him to do something? He had the highest respect and reverence for Lord Krishna. So then Krishna, being a very simple and humble person, he went to Yudhishthira and said, Yudhishthira, you're giving everybody something. What are you going to give me? What work should I do? Now Yudhishthira was very embarrassed. He said, Krishna, how can I give you anything? I can't. Just your presence is enough for all of us. He said, no, I also want to do some work. You should give me something. He said, I cannot. You do one thing, you choose whatever it is that you want to choose. Then Lord Krishna said, okay, I will choose this work. When guests are coming, they will leave their footwear, slippers and all that, chappals outside, and they'll come in. I will arrange the slippers, footwear. Now Yudhishthira said, Krishna, how can I give you that? He said, no, you are not given me this. I have only chosen, no? So all of you relax. So he took up that work. That's what I told you, no work is superior or inferior. So he took up that work. There is a beautiful meaning behind this. And the story is that when the guests came in, they were all wonderstruck at the way in which Krishna was arranging the footwear. It was done so beautifully, in such an organized way, that all the guests stood there and they were watching Krishna doing the work instead of getting inside. So Yudhishthira was wondering, why is it that nobody is coming? And then he saw a crowd outside. He went there and he saw that Krishna was arranging the footwear and the guests were all wonderstruck. For 1 second, even Yudhishthira, when he saw the way Krishna was doing it in such an organized way with full focus, he also got enamored. Then he got back his senses and he went and folded his palms to Krishna and said, Krishna, this is the problem. Wherever you go, whatever it is that you do, immediately all the people, get attracted. So they all have to come inside for the party, So my request is, enough of this work, you come there. This is a beautiful story which illustrates this principle of Vishishya. So number one, Vishishya means excellent. Number two, it means being distinguished, unique. Number three, another dimension of Vishishya. Vishishya means enhancing the value. See, when you do an action, you should focus on improving the quality and enhance the value of the action and enhance your value also in the process. If you are doing something today, tomorrow you should do it in a better way. Supposing 10 years you're doing one thing and you're doing it in the same way without increasing the quality, then you are in a state of tamas. Even though you're acting, you are in a state of mental tamas. So that is why enhancing the value should be your focus. So every step you should keep on increasing your value. How will you increase your value first? Not by proclaiming that I have become better, or not by trying to show off. Last week I mentioned, simplicity. A yogi is a very simple person. Where there is quality, there will be no pomp, no show. So by focusing on improving the quality of your actions, you will actually enhance your value, and incidentally the value of the action also. See, when I was talking about simplicity versus showing off, I did mention that generally when things are done in a very in a way in which the focus is on the pomp, the show, then there will be no quality. And where there is quality, things will be very simple. This is what I mentioned. So Amrita has asked a beautiful question regarding that. She has put it in the YouTube section only. Thank you, Yogishri, for this healing session. The question is, Yogishri, temples and Buddhist places of worship are sometimes very spectacular, but they have depth. Kindly help me understand this, Yogishri. This is a very good question which Amrita has asked. She says temples, certain Buddhist places of worship she has seen, they are so spectacular, yet they have depth. So how is that? I did mention about simplicity. Now, when I was talking about pomp or show, you have taken it as being spectacular. Just because something is spectacular doesn't mean it is not simple. See, what do I mean by simple here? Please understand this carefully. When your focus is on quality, that is how we define simplicity. The opposite of simplicity is pomp, show off, covering up for lack of quality. Whenever you don't have quality, then you try to cover up with a show off. The external case is golden in color, but internally it is dirty. This is what Shakespeare also said, no? All that glitters is not gold. So what I said is, just because something is very showy externally doesn't mean it has depth. So when you focus so much on the quality, naturally the outcome will be wonderful, spectacular, nothing wrong with that. But it will never be showy, it will never be gaudy. The person who did that didn't do it just to get appreciation from others. If he had done it that way, then it will be gaudy, it will not give you a positive energy. See, you yourself are saying it is spectacular, but it has the depth, which means you have felt that energy. That is why you are saying it is so deep. So the person who did it didn't do it for your appreciation. That person who built that temple, it may be a group of people, they all did it in an inspired way. It's actually a very good question, because what is simplicity? First, you should understand that. So simplicity is on one hand, on the opposite side is being showy, being gaudy, doing things to impress others, not focusing on quality, covering up the quality with externalities. That is called showiness. Whereas when you do something and when you increase the value, enhancing the value means focusing on the quality. Now the quality will have its beauty. The quality will give that spectacular nature. It will be grand in terms of quality. You will not know what is hitting you, but actually it will hit you. That sort of grandeur, that sort of that particular object or work being spectacular is actually a further development of simplicity. It has not lost its simplicity. So the whole question boils down to what is your focus when you're doing some activity or when you're creating something. See, if you take the Yoga Sankirtan, don't you think it is spectacular? We have used very less instruments. Nowadays I find 100 instruments in one song. It's like a mass confusion. We have had just one tambura, tanpura is there, then the voice is there, one instrument at a time, the basic percussion instrument, basic tabla or mridangam. The next Yoga Sankirtan we've used the mridangam. That's all is there. But when you hear it, you will feel it very grand. When we had the Mahaganapati Dhyana, the release function, it was, I kept mentioning to you, the grand release of Mahaganapati Dhyana. That grandeur is coming from quality. It is not a cover-up for lack of quality. That is the difference. It's a very good question, because now the moment you see something grand, now don't conclude and say therefore it doesn't have quality. That is not what was said. When it is a cover-up for lack of quality, then it becomes a mere show. It's empty inside and it's trying to show itself as full. So a yogi focuses fully on the quality, and in that process, that action becomes very spectacular, very attractive. That is okay. In the good old days, kings were called Raja Rishis. Many kings were highly spiritual people. They were advanced spiritually. They were yogis. So they were called Raja Rishis. Many queens were great, great yoginis. In the Yoga Vasishta, he talks about a queen who was a self-realized person. So they were leading a royal life, yet they were very simple people. See, a simple personality should be differentiated from what kind of possessions you're having and all that. Very, very approachable. That's what we mean by simple. So, I think I've answered that question, Amrita. So, from this moment onwards, be very simple means focus on quality. What is interesting is, enhancing value is on one hand. On the other hand, another dimension of Vishishya is standing out. Vishishya means to stand out. Being better than the best among others. That is the meaning of Vishishya. So now again, you will have the same question. Of course, I have answered that question. When a person is simple, when the way of living itself is simple, now why stand out amongst others? That is incidental. That comes out of quality. See, supposing 100 products are there. same product. Let us say 100 soaps are there in front of you. Now that soap which has genuine quality, that product which has genuine quality will automatically stand out. There could be other companies which are manufacturing the same product with lesser quality. They will do a lot of covering up. They will spend extensively on marketing something which they don't have. But in the long run, if you think about it, it is the product with the highest quality which will stand out. You cannot sustain in any business without quality. I'm talking of in the long run. It will crumble after a while. So here, this dimension of Vishishya, standing out among others, being the best. See, the moment we use the word best, it can be taken in comparison with others, But what does it mean by being the best or standing out? That person does not want to stand out. His focus is only on the quality of the action which he is doing. But the quality speaks for itself. In the long run, that person will automatically stand out because there will be a difference between that person and others. Long back, when I was in my school days, I remember seeing an interview of a lady who had achieved such great heights in the Indian classical dance, Bharatanatyam. And she had received so many awards and honors. The government of India had given her an award, and many countries had given her awards. So she was asked about the awards. You've received so many awards. She just factually said, yeah, now that you tell me, I realize I have received a lot of awards, but never have I thought about getting even a single award. I was so passionate about the art, the Bharatanatyam dance. I just kept on learning and practicing. And she said, even today, I am a learner only. I can't say I am the best dancer. You're all saying that, but I can't say that. I'm still learning. I'm trying to perfect it. According to me, there is only one perfect dancer, and that is Lord Nataraja, she said. Lord Nataraja is a form of Lord Shiva. All classical dancers, Indian classical dancers, bow down to Lord Nataraja. They take Lord Nataraja as the God of dance, the Adi, Guru of dance. So she said, when we think of Lord Nataraja, what have I mastered? Not even 10%. So these awards, she said, came by chance. They were incidental. I didn't really look for any award. So then the interviewer asked, does it mean that you're not happy with the award? She said, no, it's not like that. When the award came, I was happy for it. But my focus was not on that. That is what it means by standing out. Standing out because of quality. Not standing out by covering up for the weaknesses, covering up for the lack of quality, and trying to compensate the lack of quality by artificial marketing and presentation. I'm not against marketing. Marketing is also required, but it should not be a process of lying, Today marketing has become like that. What is there, if you create an awareness campaign, highlight what is there, that kind of marketing is truthful marketing. That is okay. But false marketing, a yogi will never ever do false marketing. So, number one, excellence. Number two, bring that uniqueness. Number three, enhance your value day by day. It is by sincere application, sincere practice that you enhance your intrinsic value. And if at all you achieve something in the world, it should be because you have focused on the quality, not because you have projected something which you are not. This is so true even with respect to spirituality. In the Vishnu Purana, he says, in Kali Yuga, those who are actually not teachers, but masters, enlightened people, will start projecting themselves as enlightened people. It's a very interesting thing. Marketing oneself as a spiritual person. And that is exactly what we are seeing today. And this is only the beginning of Kali Yuga. So as we go on, more will come. A true yogi will not do all that. He'll just be a very simple person. His quality will speak. That is the beauty. That's what he means by standing out. Being the best among, that is, being better than the best. That is Vishishya. By merely focusing on the quality. So, you think about this, we'll stop with this today. The Vishishya is such a powerful principle. I want you to practice that first. This is a homework which is being given to you. You first make a list of your activities which you do on a daily basis. See, this is going to help so much to understand the coming verses where he'll be talking about how you have to do your duties and all that. So we will be seeing this again. But from right now itself you can start practicing. It will help you so much. Make a list of the activities which you're doing and start thinking in terms of how can I do these things in a better way. For example, you're watching this every Sunday. Now a time has been fixed. The Indian Standard Time. I'm talking of those who are in India. Abroad, you can see the early morning, and you can do this. Or if the time matches, you can see it when it is being relayed also. But the point is, every Sunday from 7 to 8:30, it can go a little more also based on the energy which you're receiving. But 7 a.m. it starts. So as a student, what is excellence in that? Sitting at 7 a.m. Once in a while, if there is something else, like an emergency due to which that is okay. But I'm afraid to say once in a while because then every week it will become once in a while, to skip the discipline. So as a student, to maintain the discipline, that is what is Vishishya. As a sadhak, to do the daily sadhana, that is Vishishya. Similarly, other activities, whatever it is that you're doing, how can I better this? Just ask yourself. It's a very good sadhana. When I say how can I better that, how can I better in terms of quality? That is the question. So do this homework for 1 week. And this is not just for today, but for whole week which has been given. And then come back next week. We will go further We will go into the other verses also. The next verse is going to be very, very powerful. When we do that, you will know. Direct instructions are going to be given by Lord Krishna. Here also he is saying it in a diplomatic way. One who does this will excel. There he will directly give a message what you ought to do. It will hit you very powerfully, provided you do this homework and come. Because it's not about what the master is giving. That is one side of it. The other side of it is what you are absorbing and how you can receive it fully. That is the key here, no? Okay. So before we do the Nididhyasana meditation, I will just answer a few questions. These are questions about the 22-day empowerment course, Finding Rhythm in Life. So this has been asked by Venkatachala Srinivas ji. So Srinivas sir has asked, Manya Yogishri ji, Namaste. In order to prepare my schedule for finding rhythm in life, I would appreciate knowing. He has asked 4 questions. Number 1, will there be more than one session per day? No. There will be only one session. That is from 5 a.m. in the morning. It will go for around 2 to 2.5 hours. Depending on the empowerment meditation, what you all receive and all that, it will not be more than 2.5 hours, it will not be less than 2 hours. So, but that one session will be kept for 20 hours because of the time zone differences in different parts of the world. So this is the Indian standard time we are talking of. In other parts of the world, you can choose the the convenient time. Then number 2, during the period of the empowerment program, should I be doing Yoga Sankirtan as usual? No. See, this empowerment program each day is going to be very, very powerful. So during those 22 days, you forget about all other sadhana. See, just being with the master, that is the highest sadhana, believe me. I am not saying those who are having physical proximity with the master should not do sadhana. I am saying in an empowerment course, because the highest energy is going to be invoked. It's going to be a blast of energy. The Finding Rhythm in Life is not an ordinary course. It's going to help you lead a full life from the worldly sense and from the spiritual sense. So you can imagine the energies levels are going to be extremely high. So, time, 2.5 hours you're going to do the sadhana. And then after that, I'll be giving you homeworks and all to practice throughout the day and come back. So rest of the time, you be a little relaxed. Too much of energy also you'll not be able to handle. Okay, so no other sadhana apart from what is being told during that time. And then third is, I understand each session will be 2 to 2.5 hours. Yes, you're right. Fourth is, prior to the actual session, are there any exercises I should be doing? Appreciate your taking time to answer my question. As of now, you do your daily sadhana, number 1, the Yoga Sankirtan and whatever the previous empowerment meditation that you can do. If there is any preparatory sadhana or something to be done, you will be informed. See, as I told you, I don't plan out all this. If it comes in the meditation, that will be given to you. So, as far as exercises are concerned, that is physical exercises, yes, at least for half an hour a day, right from now itself, you can do some kriyas, some yogic kriyas. If you have attended the Finite to Infinite live program which we had in the auditorium, many kriyas were taught. Whatever you remember, you can do. If you don't remember, you can go for a walk. Some kind of physical activity, it is always good to do. and eat nutritious food. Don't overeat. Even during the 22-day programs, don't overeat. Eat your fill, nutritious food, tasty food, but this overeating is not conducive for healing. So that these things you can practice. If there is any preparatory meditation which is required for you, those instructions, once I receive in the meditation, I will create those material, and to those who have registered, you will be sent that to do it on a daily basis and all that. As of now, do your sadhana and practice all this. I'm specially sitting every day and giving the necessary healing, the preparatory healing for preparation for all the participants who have registered. The commitment should come from your side, then that is being done. So this itself is more than enough as of now. And we will see in the coming days, depending on whatever is most suitable for you, that will be suggested. And incidentally, when this healing, special healing is given, it is possible that some of you may experience, let us say, some small issues. Certain issues may come to surface, like some people, some health issues can come. It is not a negative thing. It is the healing which is happening. So if at all some karmas are there which need to be released, which you may have accumulated throughout the year, that cleaning up process also is being done. So the idea is, when you do the course, if everything comes out, you may find it difficult to face it. That is why I'm doing the cleaning up process for you. So you don't need to be worried about all that. In case a little bit of imbalance happens, just surrender to the Guru Shakti. When you're doing your daily sadhana, do the deep breathing. That will help you to release everything in a smooth way. And a lot of good things will happen now itself. Already I have been receiving mails. One person has said that he was trying for a promotion in his job for last 3 years, and this year it was rejected also. And the day he registered for this program, that day, that is, he registered for this program in the morning, and in the evening, his boss's boss gave him a call, and he said, the management has changed its mind. We have all decided to give you the promotion. So he himself doesn't know why that has happened. In the sense, practically he doesn't know what made them change their mind. It's nothing. It's just the change of the energy pattern. The healing is being given. No? So like this, many others have also shared about their health issues improving all that. When that happens, enjoy that. In case some imbalance happens, understand that is also a very positive thing only. Certain things are being released. So relax and do your sadhana. Okay. The Guru Shakti is always there protecting you. The boat can rock, but it can never turn over. Remember this. We will do the Nididhyasana now. Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. With every breath, I am becoming more and more relaxed. Feel the divine vibrations. With every breath, I am going deeper and deeper into myself. Beyond this physical body, beyond these emotions, beyond these thoughts, lies my true essential self. I am one with that infinite reality. I choose to strive for excellence in everything which I do. I choose to enhance my value by increasing the quality of my work. I am Swayam Prakashit, self-illuminating. Offer your gratitude to God Supreme. Offer your gratitude to your Guru and all the holy masters. Slowly come back. Wriggle your fingers, your toes. Rub your palms together to create a warmth. Cup your eyes with your palms. Gently rub your eyes, cheeks, forehead, top of the head, back of the head and neck. Slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. So today we had a very powerful and inspiring session. As I told you, practice sadhana of Vishishya. Whatever you're able to relate to, whatever you're appreciating, start practicing. That is the way you can grow. And as far as the 22-day program is concerned, as I mentioned to you, be consistent in your sadhana. A lot of healing is being sent to you. So it is not enough if you merely register. You should also play your part in preparing yourself by doing your sadhana. And if any health issues or something surfaces, just surrender to the Guru Shakti, ask for help, ask the higher for help. The Guru Shakti is flowing. It will help you release everything. And whenever some good things happen, immediately thank the higher for that. Take it as a blessing. Everything is a blessing only. Okay? So I'll see you in the next session. Thank you very much. Hari Om.